Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I have a wonderful special guest today. Matt Lieberman has graced us with his presence and is going to offer up some of his own tips and tricks for managing all sorts of things. But first, we want to thank the wonderful and amazing Jonathan Katz for bringing us together, because I would never have met Matt if it wasn't for the YouTube collab camp. And we'll put information about that below. So how can my viewers find you?
Well, you can find me, I'm a host on SourceFed. It's a comedy news channel. You can go to youtube.com/SourceFed, or you can find my channel at Lieberfriends.com is the easiest way to do that. That's Lieberfriends.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I do advice videos 5 days a week and a live Google Hangout on Saturdays.
We do a weird, and then it goes doodle-a-doodle-a-doo, and then this little butterfly comes out, lands in my little tree.
You have a little tree?
I do. I have a little tree.
That's awesome.
So I have, obviously, my viewers are very interactive, and I have a ton of questions. But the one that I've been getting the most that is kind of more in your wheelhouse as far as kind of an advice-driven question is, how do we deal with bullying? I know many of you have asked, like, I even got a question this morning when I was double-checking what I should talk about. Somebody's like, how do I make myself bully-proof? And what is your advice to that?
What I would say to that is, sadly, there's no such thing as bully-proof, and that's not the goal ultimately, because people and life will always throw freaking curveballs at you, and there's nothing that we can really do about it. The only thing that we are able to control is how we choose to view ourselves and how we choose to feel about something in the moment. You can let someone being, can I swear on this channel?
Of course.
You can let someone being a huge asshole to you make you angry or make you sad, or you can say, that's how this person needs to act in order to make themselves happy. I feel really bad for them.
Exactly.
Like, I get a lot of questions on my channel, like, how do you deal with YouTube comments or people on the internet being mean to you? And, you know, I can't say that no comment has ever gotten to me, or nothing that someone has said has ever gotten to me in person. But what I try to do now is I try to laugh sadly at it, because it's just sort of like, there are people in this world who need to say hurtful things to other people to not feel bad about themselves. And how much does that suck? Look, I was bullied from the moment I got into kindergarten, I want to say all the way into high school. At first it was like more physical, like when I was a kid, and, you know, people calling me weird and, you know, pushing me and chasing me, not wanting to hold hands with me, and like group exercises and like all that stuff, making you feel isolated, and it feels awful. No one's gonna say that it doesn't feel awful, and it shut me down for a lot of years. I don't think I opened my mouth to someone I didn't already know between the ages of 9 and 13, because I just had gotten nothing but negative reinforcement. What I would say when it comes to dealing with bullies is, don't let them take your power away, because that's exactly what they want. Like, someone will be mean to you and you won't know why. Understanding why they're being mean to you isn't going to bring you the peace that you want, because it may never be an answer that makes sense. It could be something as stupid as, they didn't like a shirt you were wearing the first day they saw you, and now they just can't let go of it because it's too much fun, or because frankly they have nothing else going on in their lives. Knowing why, or knowing what's wrong with you, is not going to help, because there isn't necessarily anything wrong with you.
Exactly.
I wasted the first like 20-something years of my life trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And like, you know, you're a therapist. I'm very into therapy, but my parents, you know, they were concerned about me when I was young. I was very, very smart, but I was not very social. So they took me to see psychologists and psychiatrists from like age 5 and put me on Ritalin at age 5. I was on medication well into college. And I was always wondering what was wrong with me, because that was the message I'd been getting from people at school. It was the message I was getting at home. It was the message I was getting from these psychotherapists. And it was very damaging, because instead of thinking about what I was doing right, I was always looking for an answer as to why no one liked me.
Why was I different?
Why was I different?
And just so you know, obviously you weren't any different, and neither of you out there are either. There's nothing wrong with you. That's part of the reason why I created videos, is so people know that it's way more common than we ever talked about. And the fact that people bully, really, for me, the way that I think of it is that they have a shit life.
Yeah.
And that's their only outlet, and I always feel sorry for them.
Yeah. The thing is, you know, the people who bully other people, on some level you think, well, they must be normal. They must be normal because they have the power to torture me and tell me that I am different. Normal, to me, is the most damaging word in existence, because there is no normal. The kind of person who willfully inflicts pain on other people, if that's normal, thank God I am not normal.
Exactly.
Holy cow. That would be the worst thing.
Yeah.
So what I would say to someone who's being bullied is, don't take what they're saying too seriously. And I know that that's so hard, that sounds like such garbage advice, because you're like, well, if I could do that, I'd already be doing it. But their words are not who you are. You have the right, you alone have the right to decide who you are and how the world views you and how you want to interact with the world. If people are saying that you're awkward, you don't have to be awkward. It doesn't mean that you are. If people are saying that you're weird, you aren't that thing. You are whatever you want to be. Like, people talk about confidence all the time. They ask me all the time, how do you get confident? How do you appear confident? And it's just, don't be afraid to speak your mind, ever. Unless you are actually going to like hurt somebody, it's not, you shouldn't be worried about what you're saying. If you believe something, you should be able to say it. You should have the freedom to say it. And that's where confidence comes from.
Agreed.
And confident people don't get bullied or can't be bullied. Bullies can't keep them down, because even when people disparage what they say, they're still going to keep coming.
Yeah, and it's all from within, right? If you feel good about yourself, you can sustain through it. And so it's part of that like negative self-talk. You guys are probably like sick of hearing me talk about it, but it's all about changing that tone, not telling yourself the negativity back. You don't have to re-wound yourself. You don't give them that power.
Yeah. People told me I was fat, people told me I was ugly, people told me no one would ever want me, that I was stupid, all these things. And I believed it for such a long time. None of it is true.
No.
It's really not true. You alone chart your own course, point blank. So the best way to be bully-proof is to say, fuck you, bullies.
And to work inside on yourself.
Work inside on yourself, because that's the only thing that matters. How you view yourself and how you interact with the world is the only thing that matters.
Thank you so much for answering the questions, for being on.
Yeah,
I look forward to more conversations.
Thank you so much for having me.
And check out his channel.
Yes, LibraFriends.com or YouTube.com/C/Matt Lieberman.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.